Hey there everyone, Hitesh here and welcome to the Golang series. The last video of this section, we're going to take down files. And in the Golang, just like all other languages, we can only go through with the text files and that's it. If you want to work with CSV files or PDF, there are specialized library. Obviously, you need a specialized code for that. So whether it's JavaScript, Java, Golang, anything, you need specialized library for that. So there is that. Let's go ahead and talk about that, how we can use files. And while working with the files, obviously, we are going to need the IOUtils package, which is by default in the Golang. And you will also need the differ, as once you are done with reading the files or writing into it, you obviously need to close that file. So the first thing that you should be doing is putting up this close into the differ so that when everything has happened, finally the file should get closed up. This is almost like working with the database as well. The differ statement is used there a lot, but we'll talk about that later on. Right now, let's go ahead and create a new file into 18 files. Remember, we are into 18. It's quite far. Now let's go for main.go. Geo. Let me rename that one more time. I hope you'll give me one more take on that. So main.go. Okay, nice and easy. Now let's go ahead and open this up into integrated terminal. Nice. Let's go for package, which is main. And we'll have a function, which is going to be main, just like that. First thing is font, which is very, very important. And we're going to say, welcome to files in Golang. Yeah, that's nice and easy. Okay, let me go ahead and close all these others. And there we go. We can even close this one. Now, how we're going to take down this file statement? The goal is really simple. We have some content that we want to put up into the text file. So we need to understand how we can handle these files. It's actually pretty simple. First, let's go ahead and not put this. Have some content. There we go. And the content is going to be really simple. This needs to go in a file and by dash learn code online. .in, of course. Okay, so this is like the very basics of it. And why are you having an issue? Let me go ahead. Yeah, it is declared but not being used. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now that we have some content that we want to put up in the text file, how we are going to work with that. Now you can go ahead and work with that simply by the OS module or the package that comes up by default. And it has a lot of methods. One of them is create. Yes, of course, we have methods like chown, chmod to change the permissions on the file. In case you want to read more about them, we have a blog section where we talk in detailed depth about these permissions and files. These are featured blogs. You can check them out. In this case, we are going to just go ahead and create this file. Where do you want to create this file? In the current directory, that means /. And I'm going to call this one as my lco go file. Quite a long name. But of course, make sure this is a .txt file. Now, as soon as you create this file, there are chances that file might be created. This might be a reserved directory, so it might show up some error. So in that case, we are going to say that if file is being created, that's fine, but it might throw up some error as well. So we are ready to receive both of them. Okay, that is nice. Again, the file is showing error because it's not being used yet. Okay. So the file is being created. Now the next thing that I want to do first is to check the error, because if there is error, there are some issues, I don't want to move further. So this is where the comma OK syntax come in, and you say that if there is an error and it is not equals to nil, basically saying it's a reverse logic. We use that a lot in programming. Basically, it's saying that error is having something. I don't know what, but it is having something. In this case, whenever I get an error, I get panic. So you can use a keyword known as panic and you can throw the error. Panic will just shut down the execution of the program and will show you what the error you are facing. So that's how the common way of handling the errors. But if that is all okay, then we obviously want to write something into this file. So how we're going to use the write. For writing anything, we use the IO package, which we have seen once as well. And it has a lot of methods into this, like byte writer, copy buffer, and whole of that. We are interested in the write only, and we want to write a string. So that's what we are going to be using. What is the string that you want to write in? Obviously, it says you need to give me the file as well as the string that you want to write. The file is stored in this variable, which is file itself, and the content is stored into the content variable. Okay, this is just like almost creating an os.create, so it might execute, might not execute. But in this case, let's see that if it has executed or not. Let's assume that it has executed. So if it has executed, what it gives you back is a length that you have got, or it might give you an error as well. Okay, how do I know that it's going to give me a length back and not the file itself? Of course, by reading the documentation. No magic at all there. Okay, moving further, so that the length is being created, let's go ahead and check for an error here as well. And we can go ahead and copy this and paste it again, because the checking of the error is exactly same always. Let's go ahead and do funct print, and we're going to say that length is, and then we're going to go ahead and just print out the length, not like that. Come on, there we go. Let me just copy and paste this, because I'm pretty sure I probably might have made a mistake there. Okay, once this is all done, we obviously want to close the file. So this file has a lot of methods that we have stored up here. You can go ahead and say, just go ahead and close that. There we go, that's all. So this is exactly the file that you have got stored up here. So this needs to be closed, and let's see what we are having. It says expressed one expression syntax. Okay, why are you having some issues? Pretty easy to see. I was just staring this screen. It needs to go like that. An extra space. Okay, should be, why an extra space there as well? So this should be all okay, and we should be able to see a file. And make sure once you are done with this, you put up this file.close, and the recommended advice for these case of scenario is to use the defer keyword, because maybe after this you want to write some code further down, which obviously we will do in a minute, but this is the recommended way. Let's go ahead and open this up into integrated terminal, and let's see if we are able to run this or we need to debug it. Go run main.go. As soon as I run this, you can see it creates a new file, and we get all the context or the string that we wanted to write into that. Okay, so this is all nice, and let's go ahead and close this one up here. Okay, now we want to read the file as well. Now let's go ahead and create a separate method for reading the file, because the main is getting a little bit bigger. Let's call this one as read file, and it's exactly same. Just like when you want to write the file, you need to provide the name of the file. It's almost exactly says os.create can create the file, and we can read the file by a different utility, not os, but we need the file path at least. So let's call this one as file name along with the path. It should be in the format of string that is going to given to us. And how we're going to do that? Whenever you are reading the file, remember the creation is the OS operation, but for reading the file and doing a little bit more manipulation, there is a separate utility given to us, which is IOUtils. And once I use this IOUtil, it has a lot of methods. As you can see, there is a read directory if you want to see how many files are there in the directory, temporary directory creation, and a whole bunch of other things. We're going to just say that I want to read a file. So I'm going to use the read file, not the read directory. Make sure you pay close attention on that. It requires just a string, which is the file name. That's it. Now, obviously, this is an operation which can throw up a possible error for you. So you can go ahead and say, and I'll tell you in a minute that what we are about to receive, but obviously you get the idea that we can possibly have an error. Okay, one important thing here to note that if this underscore, which we are about to write, whenever you read the file, it's not being read into the string format. And that is the biggest gotcha moment that you always need to keep an eye, especially when you read some data from the internet as well, that is always read into the bytes format. So the data that's going to be coming up is going to be data byte. I'm just writing it data byte so that you understand it. Usually in the examples, you're going to see that as just the data. Obviously, the next thing is check the error, and let's go ahead and copy this and paste this up. So now you're checking for the error. Once you're done with the error, you obviously want to see that what's inside the file or what's the content data byte into the string format. Let's go ahead and do the funct, not that. Let's go ahead and do the funct print, and then we're going to say text data inside the file is, and let's go ahead and put up a /n so everything goes to the next line. And then put up a comma. If you're going to go ahead, let's just go ahead and print the data byte so that you at least see what's happening. We'll fix this in a minute, but let's see what's the raw data and how does it look like. Okay, so let's clean this up, run this up, and there we go. It says we never called the function. My bad. Okay, so where we need to call this? Just below the call, read file, and we need to provide this my LCO go file. There we go. One more time, attempt 2. Let's run this one, and this is what you see. So whenever you see this kind of data format, because you'll be seeing this a lot, especially when you read the data from the internet, maybe JSON or something, you'll see this a lot. Now, how we handle this, there are a couple of ways to handle this. I'll show you both of them. First, start with the easy one. The next one, we're going to take care of that in some another video. So let's cut the data byte, and the easiest way is to wrap around in the string, just like we saw that we can wrap around things into parse float or just the integer, and it does the job. That is also a valid way. It's not just any hack that we are using. It's a valid way. If I run this one, this says this needs to go into a Go file. So we are reading directly from the file itself. Now that is all for this one. But one thing that that might be bothering some of you is, hey, we checked this one so many of the time, and this is a common thing if we are going to be doing things like that. This is not probably a good way. So what you're going to see a lot of people does is check nil error. Yes, this is a common method name being utilized by a lot, and you pass on an error of syntax error, and you go ahead and use the syntax up here, and this should be in the lowercase. There we go. And what you do is you write the exact same syntax up here. Since this is kind of a repetition too many times, you just go ahead and do stuff like that. I know this is not too much of saving the lines, but this is a common pattern with the same name. Check nil error is kind of a method. So what we can do now is copy that, save this first, and we can just go ahead and remove this and pass on this error up here. So that is all happy. We can save one more line up here. Go ahead and cut this out and paste this one up here and pass on your error. This should be all happy. And I'll leave this one here just to comment it so that you remember that we did it at the last. And we can go ahead and pass on this error up here, and there we go. So again, this is a very common syntax. Since this comma OK syntax comes in a lot, you're going to see a lot of people do this. Just to mention this, I did it, but in the future videos, I'll keep it just right here so that when you are seeing the exercise file, it is much more easier for you to follow. So that's pretty much it. A big shout out again to all the pro.learncodeonline.in supporters. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and let's catch up in the next video.